Everything changed the moment the system awakened. Levels, stats, skills, dungeons, power beyond imagination. With the blood of a Saiyan, the mind of a gamer, and a destiny that will shake the entire shinobi world, Naruto is about to become something far greater than Hokage. This is Naruto, the Gamer Experience. Now let's begin today's chapter. Naruto and Ya appear in front of the door to the library of Ashina. Is this Uzushio? She asks. The redhead nods and they head to the surface to beginning working on her becoming SSJ. I thought it would best to do here, Naruto says. Ya is shocked by the destruction around the area. How did you become a SSJ? She asks. Naruto turns to look into her red eyes. It was a quest, but this one was personal. I became a SSJ through seeing the loss of all those I care about. Killed by someone I knew, he says, and raises his clenched right fist, before going SSJ. Even now I still get angered by it. Even with gamer mind, Naruto says and places his hands on her shoulders. The power will come in response to a need, not a desire, he adds, and Ya slowly nods. Over the course of 3 weeks, Naruto and Ya pop into the island to find the trigger to make her a SSJ, with a few instances of her coming close to it. I can't, Ya says, trying to focus with a golden aura around her, but it vanishes as she falls to her knees. You're right there. I can feel it. Why are you holding back? Naruto says, opposite her. I am afraid. What if I can't become a SSJ? What if it's wasted on me? Ya says, but Naruto pulls her into a loving embrace as she stands up. It wasn't. You deserve the gift you were given, Naruto says, rubbing her back. Ya slowly pulls back with a determined look on her face. Let's try one more time, but I want you to attack me. Transform and attack me with your final shine, she says, shocking the redhead. Yeah, Naruto says, but Ya places her fingers on his lips. It's okay, Ya says. Naruto takes a breath and exhales before going SSJ as his aura pushes Ya back. Alright, he says, and launches skyward. Ya plants her feet as Naruto hover above. I'm ready, Naruto. It's now or never, she shouts. She right, boy, Musashi says. Naruto raises his left hand as greenish energy forms. Final shine, he shouts, firing the blast towards Ya. She throws her hands up and catches the blast, but it slowly pushes her back. I have to do this, she thought, as memories of her family flashes through her mind, but also her new family. Mom. Dad. Yuri. Everyone help me, Ya thought, her shoes digging into the ground, but slowly this wellspring of power erupts. A golden aura surrounds her body, her black hair becomes golden blonde and a little spiker with her red eyes becoming a pupil-less blue-green. Ya roars and punches Naruto's final shine as she has attained SSJ while trying to reign in her new power. Yeah. Calm down. Focus, Naruto says, after landing. Ya slowly focuses and transformation vanishes as Naruto catches her. I did it, she whispers. You did, Naruto says, and lifts her up to take her home. Over the course of 2 weeks he gets used to transforming into SSJ, with the others getting used to their new abilities as well, but time would come to put those skills to use. Naruto. We received an emergency message from Tsunagakure. The Kazekage's brother has been kidnapped by Akatsuki. Itachi starts as the redhead stands before him. Do we have any information? Naruto asks, but Itachi shakes his head. No. I know you are new Jonin, but I trust your skills and will let you put together a team. Your team is head for Tsunagakure and provide backup to the Godame, Itachi says, and Naruto bows at the waist, before excusing himself. They finally started to move, boy, Musashi says, and Naruto mentally nods. What team will you put together? She adds. I don't know what Akatsuki sent, but a medic and tracker are needed. Sarada. Tsunade. Mujina and Kagaya should be good enough, Naruto thought, reaching home and informing the girls about this. Your first mission as Jonin lead is death, says. Yeah. We don't know what we're walking into. So we need to be prepared, Naruto says, and chosen team nod. About 30 minutes later, the team of 5 were checking out at the main gate and racing through the forest of Fire Country towards Wind Country. Sarada is dressed in a black tube top shirt with red lining on the top, fitted black cargo shorts to just above her knees, a red belt, black, high-heel boots with black socks that reach her calves with red lining on the top, and a black jacket left open having red on the inside. Kagaya is wearing a form-fitting light lavender, sleeveless kimono-style blouse with vertical lines, tied with a dark purple obi around her waist and short dark navy shorts. She also wears thigh-high stockings, forearm-length and palm-less gloves with black ankle boots. It will take us 3 days to reach Suna. Or, Tsunade says. She wears a dark green-black zipped vest and black pants that reach down to her shins having white trimmings and matching socks with brown calf-high combat boots. Arm-length gloves that secure at her middle fingers and a black denim jacket with 2 long sagging straps along the sides. Naruto skids to halt with a sigh and all 4 girls stifle their laughs, right? Stasis scrolls, he says. He is wearing dark blue cargo jeans that taper into knee-high lace-up boots. A form-fitting, high-collar, lightweight tactical vest and a form-fitting, dark blue long-sleeve shirt and his hitayate hanging from belt. It is his first serious mission, Mujina says. She wears a white sweater with black waistcoat having gold trim, fitted black pants and thigh-high brown leather boots. Naruto seals each of the girls into a stasis scroll and blasts off like rocket towards the border and Sunagakure. A day later, Naruto unseals the girls and they race for the main entrance Sunagakure, and the group are met by Suna Umbu, immediately taking them to the hospital. Naruto Uzumaki Tamari says, and the 5 bow to the godame, her blonde hair longer but in 2 pigtails. She wears a purple long-sleeve blouse with a high collar under a gray top, and a dark blue skirt with a split in the middle revealing her leggings. This way. My brother has been poisoned. So I hope you can help, Tamari says, looking at Tsunade. How bad? Tsunade says. Bad enough. I even contacted Chio and Ebizu-sama for assistance, but the poison is foreign to them, but they say it was from Sasori of the Red Sand, Tamari says. She pushes open the doors with Tsunade following her, and the others see a small old woman. She has black eyes and lavender hair tied in a bun. A maroon headband and a dark color, loose-fitting outfit with a poncho-like top. The Slug Queen, but you look younger, the woman says. I'm her daughter, Tsunade says. The Slug Queen had a daughter, a small old man says. He has heavy-lidded eyes and very long eyebrows that frame each side of his face. Along with a turban wrapped around his head and a dark-colored, loose-fitting outfit with a poncho-like top. Yes. My father is the Gama Sanin as well, Tsunade says and slips off her jacket. Kagaya, come help me, she adds. Kankuro suddenly screams in pain and claws at his throat as both girls check him over. Naruto. Sarada. Mujina. Give us the room please, Tsunade says, as the 3 nod with the elders Chio and her brother Ebizu following them out. Who are you 3? Ebizu asks as Naruto, Mujina, and Sarada introduce themselves. A few hours pass as Tsunade and Kagaya extract the poison from Kankuro with a technique created by Tobium. One of Tamari's advisors named Baki catch 3 up on the current situation and reveal Kankuro is awake. We'll should to head to place of Kankuro's battle to see if any sense were left behind, Sarada says. Kankuro grunts loudly as he sits up, and no need Uchiha. Have my puppets been recovered, he says, and Baki nods. 2 Jonin bring the puppet remains. There were 2 enemies. Even if they split up. One has Gaara's scent on him, Kankuro says, pointing to the black cloth in one hand. Even if you fall. You won't fall without a fight, Sarada says, and Kankuro manages a weak smile but grunts in pain. Save him. Please, Kankuro says. Naruto and company head outside the hospital room as the redhead summons Sui. Sui, I need you track this scent and asses the situation, he says. I can send fun with you, Mujina says, and Sui nods, as the half-elf summons the wolf. We'll return quickly, Sui says, and takes Fan into his shadow as they vanish. Inside the room, Chio is standing next to Kankuro's bed. Kankuro, tell me directly from your own mouth. Was it really Sasori? Chio says, and Kankuro winces, slowly turning to her. Yes. It was Sasori of the red sand, Kankuro states, and Chio glances to Kankuro's puppet with the stamp of a red scorpion. If Sasori is a part of Akatsuki, we could any useful information on him, Tsunade states, and Chio sighs with nod. A few hours pass and nightfall comes as Tsunade completes the antidote for Kankuro. I made some antidote for everyone as well, Tsunade says, falling on the bed in their room. Naruto is setting a sleeping bag for himself and giving the four the bed. I won't need it, he muses. We know the four say in unison and turn in for the night. The next day, Fun and Sui return to point out on a map where the Akatsuki base, Land of Rivers. The entrance has a special seal on it, Sui says. Did you see what kind? Naruto asks, but Sui shakes his head. Thanks, Sui. We'll take it from here, he adds, and the Oni dismisses himself. Naruto sends a clone to inform Temari as everyone gets ready to head for the main gate. Bring him back, Uzumaki, she says. We will lady go, Dame, Naruto says, as Chio drops down with a bag. I'll be going with the Konoha team too, Chio says and smirks. Besides, I haven't doted on my grandson in ages, she adds. Mujina summons Dryger and hops on her back as Chio does the same with a laugh before the group takes off at the quick pace for the Land of Rivers. Meanwhile, the 9 members of the Akatsuki were standing on 9 fingers of the Geto Mazo and extracting the Ichibi from Gaara. The extraction is nearly at an end, Pain says, seeing the chakra coming from every orifice on Gaara's head. I wonder how strong Naruto has become, Aki says, absent-mindedly. We'll know soon enough. He is coming with a squad of Konoha ninjas, Zetsu says, and this quirks Aki's interest. Deidara. Sasori. Deal with the Kyuubi Jinchuriki. Capture him if possible, Pain says. Don't worry, leader. We can handle him, Deidara comments. Do not underestimate him, artiste, Aki says, and Deidara scoffs. A few hours later, Gaara crashes to the ground with the last of the Ichibi's power being sucked out, while Naruto and company are in a forest overlooking the entrance to the hideout. Kagaya activates her Byakugan and sees the large rock between a Torii gate with a large seal, but see 4 more. I see 4 other seals and all of them linked, she explains, relaxing her eyes. An early warning system perhaps, or prevent entry and allow them time, Sarada comments. It is a 5 seal barrier. All 5 must be deactivated at the same time, Chio comments. Naruto squats down and places his hand on the ground with his eyes closed. I see 2 and Gaara is barely alive. We need to act quickly, he says, using Sage Mode. Can you deal with the seal? Sarada says, and Naruto nods, creating 4 clones to search out the other 4 seals. The 5 head down as Mujina provides overwatch and Naruto prepares to break the seal with another clone to inform his clones, Tsunade. You can break the boulder, and the blonde nods as he hovers his hand over the seal. I can't believe a village I avoided because I couldn't believe in alliances is trying to help us, Chio thought. Tsunade clenches her left fist as Haki covers her arm and Naruto raises a half-ram sign. All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, Naruto shouts as the clone dispels and the clones rip the seal. Tsunade punches forward and shatters the boulder as everyone rushes in, but the 2 Akatsuki members were waiting. Sasori is next to a seated Deidara and his seat happens to be Gaara. We're too late, Sarada says. He's still alive but hanging by a thread, Kagaya says, her Byakugan active. Which one is the Jinchuriki? Deidara says. The redhead, Sasori says, and suddenly parries a knife with his barbed tail. Foolish, he says, but a flash erupts as Naruto appears into a spinning kick to Deidara. Naruto grabs Gaara and vanishes to avoid Sasori's tail while Deidara staggers to his feet. What the hell, Deidara shouts. Tsunade, Kagaya and Sarada rush out the cave to leave Naruto and Chio behind with Sasori staring. Deidara go after them. I'll handle the Kyuubi Jinchuriki, Sasori says. Right, Sasori Dana Deidara says and creates a large bird to fly out the cave after the others. I heard you retired years ago. Granny Sasori says, his tail swishing back and forth. Chio makes her way next to Naruto as the redhead is on guard for an attack. I wanted to see my grandson after so long, she says, and Naruto's eyes narrow as Chio steps forward. Naruto. Step back and support me, Chio says and pulls 8 kunai from her robes, linked by chakra string. Assault blade, Chio shouts, firing the kunai en masse. Sasori stays motionless but his tail moves and Chio moves her finger, making the kunai change direction and cutting his robe in several places. Amazing, Naruto thought. Are you going to continue to defy me? I'll have no choice but to add to you my collection. Granny Chio Sasori hisses, his cloak ripping away and reveal his body. A large demon mask on its back with the scorpion tail coming out of it, its left arm rigged with a projectile launcher. A large puppet, Naruto says and Chio slowly nods. Puppet masters have trouble with close combat but that body surmounts that issue. It is Sasori's specialty, puppet Hiroko, Chio states and Sasori chuckles ominously. Do you know how I make my collection, Granny? I generally start with the organs. Then wash the body thoroughly. Then extract the blood and make the body free of decay. Counting the 2 of you, I will soon have 300 in my collection. That is my art, Sasori interjects, shocking the redhead. Art? Turning people into puppets is art to you, Naruto shouts. Yes, and after we take the QB from you, you'll be a part of my art, Sasori says. Naruto. Prepare yourself. I have made the first move, Chio says and pulls her hair free. You know I hate waiting, Granny Sasori says and the pair shoot forward. Naruto watches as Sasori rips the cloth from his face and firing numerous sunbon needles but Chio dodges, parrying them as Naruto tries to close the gap between them and Sasori. The Suna missing Nin uses his left arm and firing it off before it explodes into wood, but in the wood were more needles. Naruto weaves a chain of signs with a deep breath, futon, tappa, he thought, blowing the needles off course. I am being mocked, Sasori thought. Naruto sprints forward as Chio remains unmoving and tosses a knife above Sasori before flashing to it and clenching his right fist. Shocking first bullet, Naruto shouts, shattering Hiroko with a punch and cracking the ground, but someone leaps away. The real Sasori lands a few feet from them with a black cloth over his body. So you've come out. Show me your face. It's been 20 long years, Chio says. Sasori moves his right hand and his Hiroko head moves and shoot up, firing even more needles, but Chio uses Hiroko's tail to block the needles. As I thought. You attached chakra string to Hiroko's tail. It was your first attack with the kunai, Sasori says and rips the cloak from his body, causing Chio's eyes to widen in shock. Music, Sasori theme, Naruto Shippuden. Standing before them is a young man about Naruto's age with short, mousy red hair and a dreamy look on his face with a faint smile. Chio's eyes were wide and flickering as Naruto glances between the two. Is this him, he says. It's impossible. He hasn't aged a day, Chio thought. Sasori tilts his head with a smirk. What's wrong, Chio Baba? Are you so filled with emotion? You've lost the capacity to speak, he says, but Chio remains silent. Well, it can't be helped. It's our first meeting 20 years. So I'll show you something that will move you, he adds, as a scroll comes out his right sleeve. He slowly opens it as it reveals the kanji for 3. It was so hard to acquire this piece, Sasori says and channels some chakra. The scroll glows purple and erupts in smoke as a figure appears, causing Chio's breath to hitch and eyes to flicker. That's impossible. That's the Sandame Kazekage, Chio says, and Naruto turns to look at her. Sandame Kazekage, Naruto questions and Sasori chuckles as the puppet undulates around his body. Doesn't this take you back? He disappeared so long and through the village in complete and utter panic, Sasori explains. Sasori. How could you, Chio shouts and Sasori's eyes narrow. What if I did? You mean a retired bat with one foot in the grave. Is about to avenge the Sandame Kazakage, Sasori states. I may have one foot in the grave, but I brought my old butt here. If I died now, it would be with too many regrets. One being that my grandson would meddle with the Kazakage position for a third time, Chiyo shouts. Don't blame the yondaime on me. One of my subordinates simply goaded Orochimaru into killing Raza after the Chunin exams in Kirigakure, Sasori counters. It's the same as if you did, Chiyo retorts. Sasori chuckles a bit and sways his head back. I may have been paired with Orochimaru is the past with Akatsuki, but I could care less what he does, he says. Do you know where Orochimaru is hiding? He has a lot to answer for, Naruto says, interjecting himself in the conversation. Maybe. Maybe not, Jinchuriki. I despise keeping people waiting. Shall we commence with your capture, Sasori says, moving his hand forward. Song ends. The Sandame rockets forward with its arms wide, but its right arm flexes and several poison blade emerge. Chiyo sends Hiriko's tail to intercept, but the tail shatters as the blade nears Naruto, but the redhead acts quickly with his sword coming from his glove and a backstep. Not bad, Jinchuriki, but how about this, Sasori says, whipping his arms. The Sandame's left arm opened to show numerous panels with kanji written, before a plethora of puppet arms shoot out and crashes into Naruto, but the blonde emerge from the debris cloud with windsword chi coming from his sword. Sasori's eyes narrow as the arms were cut to pieces. No matter, try this, he thought, moving a finger. A purple poison cloud erupts from one of the arms to fill the area. Naruto, hold your breath, Chiyo shouts. It won't matter, Sasori thought, but danger senses went off, as Naruto appears behind Sasori with his sword raised, but Sasori smirks. Naruto brings his sword down, but it clangs on a wall of black sand. Sand? Where, he thought, and back skips away with narrow eyes. Impossible. It can even use his Kekai Genkai, Chiyo shouts. The Sandame breaks away from the multiple arms as black sand is pooling under the puppet and now coming from its mouth. The most feared power of the Sandame. The Iron Sand, Sasori says. Chiyo quickly unfurls two scroll and reveals two puppets, the father and the mother, she states, as Naruto shifts his eyes from each of them. You kept those old things, huh? No matter. I'll crush them and you into paste, Sasori shouts. Naruto shoots forward from Sasori's left, but the sand rises, Satetsu Shigure, Sasori thought. The sand rains down towards Naruto and Chiyo, but the father and mother create a shield as Naruto flashes around the chamber to avoid the sand. Chiyo tries to rein in her breath and move her puppets, but the iron sand is covering them. You're supposed to dodge that jutsu. So long as I have the Sandame's Jiten. Those puppets are useless. So I'll kill you this time, Sasori says, as the sand forms spears. Sasori sends the Sandame forward as the spears plummet towards Chiyo, but it opens its chest, sending more chakra and increasing their speed. The ground explodes around Chiyo, but Naruto emerges from the cloud with her under his arm and his sword in his free hand. Naruto, you should escape. Weapons made of iron or steel are useless, Chiyo says, but Naruto shakes his head. It wouldn't do me any good. I'm their target, Naruto states, sealing his sword away. The set of iron wings form from the Sandame as well as a large slab and reverse triangle. He's right. He's my target. You are a minor annoyance, Sasori states. Naruto places Chiyo down and cracks his knuckles with a slow exhale. Well, let's see you try and take me, he says, going SSJ to Chiyo's shock. How foolish, Sasori says, and sends the iron triangle forward. Naruto and Chiyo break right as the triangle stretches to rip through the ground and wall to the outside. Above, Chiyo shouts, as the iron pillar slams into the ground, but the redhead avoids it. Naruto shoots forward and clenches his left fist with martial chi coating it. Martial chi. Fist of the moon, he thought, slamming his fist into the iron pillar and sending it careening into the opposite wall to shake the cavern. Oi oi, impossible, Sasori says, landing on a wall and drops down. He reforms the triangle and pillar, sending the triangle forward in a full spin, but Naruto dodges. The pillar shoots forward next, but Naruto breaks right, avoiding the spinning triangle but punches it into the ground once again. Naruto launches towards the pillar and uppercuts it into the ceiling of the cavern to the surface, causing pieces of the roof to collapse around them. Sasori sends the iron constructs forward and Naruto returns them a light crude game of pinball, as more and more of the cavern collapses until the sky is visible. Enough games. Satetsu Kaiho, Sasori states, and the sand erupt into hundreds of spears, crashing into Naruto and Chio with a large gust of dust. Music, Darksiders 2 soundtrack War vs. Death. The cloud of debris dissipates as Sasori looks on but smirks at the sight of Chio's left arm is pinned under a rock. Chio struggles to move and looks for Naruto. Naruto, she shouts but gasps, seeing him among the spears. He has several cuts on his skin as he staggers forward but collapses to his knees and Chio's eyes widen. Oh no, he's poisoned, Chio thought. Impressive to go this far, Kyuubi Jinchuriki, but it's over. Your body will become numb and you'll be unable to move. I'll have keep you alive until we extract your Biju, Sasori says and sends the Sandaime forward to capture Naruto. It nears Naruto but the redhead shoots up to shatters the Sandaime to pieces with the fist of Mars, causing the iron sand to lose cohesion and fall around them to the shock of grandson and grandmother. How is he moving? My poison should have made him unable to move, Sasori thought. Naruto lands next to Chio and lifts the rock off her arm. Are you alright? He says and Chio nods. How are you unharmed, Naruto? Chio says. I'm immune to poison, Naruto says and holds up his gloved left hand. I'll have to explain later though, he adds. Impressive, Jinchuriki. I'll admit that, but to think. You would push me to use myself in battle, Sasori thought and begins unclipping his robe. I haven't used myself since I joined the Akatsuki, he adds, tossing off his robe and Naruto's eyes widen. That explains why he's so young-looking, boya. He's a living puppet, Musashi says. Sasori's body is indeed that of a puppet with a pair of spinning claws attached to his lower back and a holder for 4 scrolls on his back, a stinger in the open stomach cavity and having a compartment in his right chest. It's truly been a while since I used myself, Sasori says, standing on his poison-covered cord as it lifts him a few feet. This proves why he's remained young all these years, Chio says. Sasori raises his hands and 2 pipes emerge, firing a condensed stream of flames and forcing the pair behind some rocks. What will you do? Sasori says, his eyes wild and inhuman. Naruto moves quickly to another rock as the first melts. The fire gives way to pressurized water as both dodge while it slashes through the rocks. Sasori sprints forward and swivels his arms but leaps to fire his cord. Die, he shouts, narrowly missing Chio but his body jerks as Naruto slams a delayed dropkick to his chest. The cylinder in Sasori's chest shoots out and his body breaks apart as Naruto back somersaults towards Chio. It is over, he says, but Chio shakes her head. No. This is just beginning, Chio says. The cylinder pulses like a heartbeat and pulls the pieces back together. To think I would pushed this far, Sasori hisses. Chio pulls a scroll from her pouch. To think I would use this kenjutsu again, she say and unfurls it. The scroll opens to reveal 10 symbols and from the symbols came 10 puppets, causing Sasori to chuckle. The kenjutsu you used to topple a castle. Shirohige, Jiki Chikamatsu no Shu, Sasori says but holds his own scroll, before opening the panel on his chest. This is what I used to topple a nation, Sasori shouts, as 100 puppets burst from the scroll and Chio's eyes widen. Akahiji, Hayaki no Son, Sasori says but clutches his face, how appalling. To think I took this long to kill an old bat and capture a Jinchuriki, he thought. Naruto. I will ask you again to please retreat, Chio says, but the redhead shakes his head. Sorry, Lady Chio. He wants me and that's exactly who he'll get, Naruto says and flares his SSJ aura. Here I come, Nation Destroyer, he shouts and sprints forward. Has he gone mad, Sasori thought, sending his puppets. Naruto coats his arms in martial chi with a leap. Martial chi, Hyakuritsuken, he shouts, throwing 100 punches forward and destroying numerous puppets. I'll go too, Chio thought, sending forth her puppets. Machine gun blows, Naruto shouts, firing numerous energy blasts in every directions and destroying more puppets. Several charge him from all sides, but the redhead clenches his left fist as energy flares and spins like top, creating a vortex to destroy numerous puppets as Chio tries to keep up with his pace but cannot. Naruto. Focus on Sasori, Chio shouts. Naruto skids to a halt as green energy forms in his right arm. Final shine, he shouts, shooting his arm skyward. Sasori and Chio gasp as Naruto's energy tears through his puppets. Don't take your eyes off me, Sasori, Naruto shouts, appearing with his violent god slicer poised to pierce his chest. Sasori jerks as he embedded into the wall with the energy blade piercing though his heart cylinder, but a sword is through Naruto's left shoulder. Mutual destruction, Jinchuriki, Sasori says, breaking the blade from Naruto's shoulder. He staggers back a bit and slowly pulls the blade his shoulder. I told you, Sasori. Poison immunity, he says, and injects. Sasori's eyes widen. That's unfortunate. So I'll give you some free information, Kyuubi Jinchuriki. No. Naruto Uzumaki. You may kill me today, but the Yonbi, Gobi and Rokubi will still be captured soon. Sasori starts and Naruto's eyes narrow as the puppet master smirks. And here a second piece of advice. At midday in 10 days. Go to the Tenchi Bridge near Kusagakure in the Land of Grass. I was supposed to meet my spy in Orochimaru's employ, Sasori says, his voice slowly and finally stopping. Chio reaches Naruto but collapses to her knees as the redhead rushes to her side. Sasori, she thought, a few tears falling. Music ends. Naruto stares at the ring he took from Sasori's left hand, an odd ring he thought, slipping it into one of his vest pockets. Naruto turns his attention to Chio as she secures Sasori's body into a scroll. We should catch up to the others, he says, approaching. Yes. Yes, we should, Chio says, with a weary sigh and gets to her feet. Naruto places his hand on Chio's shoulder and touches 2 fingers to his forehead as they vanish, reappearing in behind the huddled group 4. Naruto Tsunade says, kneeling next to Gaara with hands glowing a light green. Did you defeated Sasori? Sarada says. With Granny Chio's help. How's Gaara? Naruto asks, as Chio kneels next to Gaara. I'm doing what I can, but... Tsunade starts, but Chio places her hands on Gaara's chest. I can help you, Chio says, and her hands start to glow. I'll use of my life force to bring him back from the brink of death, she adds, and all of them gasp. Lady Chio. Naruto says, but the old woman shakes her head. I intended to use this jutsu to breathe life into a puppet for Sasori, but my eyes were opened by all of you. You went out of your way to help, Chio says and smiles. You've taught this old lady a lesson, she adds. Gaara scrunches his face and weakly opens his eyes. Where am I? He whispers, as Chio falls back, but Kagaya catches her. Welcome back to Land of Living, Sarada says, smiling. You Uchiha Uzumaki, Gaara says, seeing Naruto and Sarada. A large group of Suna shinobi suddenly arrive as Gaara sits up and his eyes widen. Everyone, he says, causing all the Suna shinobi to cheer. Such a bothersome little brother we have. Putting us through all this trouble, Kankuro says, and Tamari pops him, as Naruto helps Gaara to his feet. Thank you, Tamari says, to the Konoha group. Naruto and company step back as Tamari, Kankuro, and several other Suna ninja check on Gaara. Many of the Suna ninja and group Konoha start to notice that Chio is not moving from Kagaya's arms and start to crowd around her, including her brother. She looks so peaceful. Like she could start laughing at any moment, Ebizo says, and many of Suna shinobi tear up. Gaara bows his head towards Chio. Thank you for saving my life. Everyone let us pray for Granny Chio, he says, and everyone bows their heads in reverence for Chio. Meanwhile, back at the Akatsuki hideout, Zetsu stares down at the corpses of numerous puppets in search of Sasori's body. They managed to kill Sasori, White Zetsu says. The Kyuubi Jinchuriki is more dangerous than we realize, Zetsu Black comments. Behind them is Tobi, but playing the fool, Zetsu-san. You think Sasori-senpai was killed, he shouts, but Zetsu ignores him. Maybe I can join Akatsuki now, he says, joyfully. It doesn't work like that, Black Zetsu says. Why not let him join? After all, Toby is a good boy, White Zetsu muses. A few hours later they find Deidara's hand in a forest. Did Deidara-senpai die too, Toby says, picking up the arm. Take your hands off that, Deidara says, coming from behind a tree. Still alive, Deidara, Black Zetsu says, and Deidara scoffs. Not for a lack of trying. That Uchiha bitch and Archer bitch nearly killed me, Deidara comments. You alright, Deidara-senpai? Guess not, Toby says, and Deidara glares at him. Even the Buddha has its limits if insulted 3 times. Say something again and I'll decide your death, Deidara, and Toby shrugs his shoulders. It'll just be an explosion, Toby says, dismissively, and White Zetsu chuckles. That was the 3rd, Black Zetsu says, and Deidara grabs Toby in a headlock with his legs. We'll need to contact Leader Sama about Sasori and his missing ring, White Zetsu says, and Deidara frowns. So Sasori Dana bought it, huh? Shame, Deidara comments, as Toby continues to tap out. So Deidara escaped, Naruto says, sitting in a chair. He and his team were in a room given to them by Temari in the Kazekage mansion. He fought from long range using clay bombs. Sarada used Raiton to disable some and I used my Baumujina says. He used some sort of suicide jutsu but I have my doubts, Sarada says, petting Dryger. I guess we'll keep an eye out for him, Naruto says, and all of them nod. The next day a memorial is held for Chio and all the village attend, even the Konoha group pay their respects to the fallen puppet master. Uzumaki Gaara says, seeing his fellow redhead. How are you feeling, Naruto asks. I am fine but I have lost Shikaku, Gaara says. At least you're still alive, Naruto comments. At the cost of Elder Chio, Gaara says, staring at her photo. Perhaps, but she did it with good intentions, Naruto says. Perhaps, Uzumaki, Gaara says, leaving his fellow redhead. Quite the speaker, Musashi says, and Naruto sighs as Asuna Umbu informs them that Temari wishes to speak with him. He makes his way to the Kazekage's office and the sandy blonde is sitting at her desk. Thank you for coming, Naruto Uzumaki, she says. No problem, Lady Kazekage, Naruto says, and Temari clears her throat. First, Sasori's bounty will placed into Iron Fire Bank, Temari starts, and Naruto nods. Next. Did Sasori say anything before he died, she adds. He did. He said he was meeting a spy on the Tenchi Bridge at midday in 9 days. This spy works for Orochimaru, Naruto says, and Temari clenches her fist under her desk. What do you intend to do with such information, Temari asks. I'll need to speak to the Hokage and go from there, Naruto says, and Temari slowly sighs. Keep Suna in the loop. He did kill our yondaime, Temari says, and Naruto bows at the waist, before excusing himself. He heads to find the others and they head out of the village. This should be far enough. Everyone grab onto to me, Naruto says, placing his index and middle finger to his forehead as everyone grasp his body. Where will we end up, Sarada says. Yeah, Naruto says, and all of them vanish, reappearing in the backyard of their home, but he has to avoid a SSJ enhanced punch. And Naruto? Everyone, ya says, her pupil-less blue-green eyes wide. Back from your mission, darling, Isteth says, and Naruto nods. Yeah. I'll need to report in with the Hokage. Sarada and the others can explain what happened, Naruto says, and vanishes with Shunshin. Naruto reaches the Hokage tower and makes his way to Itachi's office, finding him speaking to Kakashi and the Godame beckons for him. Back from your mission, Itachi says, and Naruto nods, then I'll take your oral report, he adds. Naruto begins explaining about arriving to Tsunade healing Kankuro, the Akatsuki's base in the Land of Rivers, his fight with Sasori and the man's dying declaration. Then others will have to explain about their fight with Deidara, Naruto says. Sasori's reveal of meeting a spy in Orochimaru is concerning, Kakashi says. I agree, but this is a chance to learn where Orochimaru is hiding, Itachi says. May I make a suggestion, Naruto says, and both stare at him. I would like to handle this alone, he says, shocking both. Naruto. This could be very well an S-rank mission, Itachi says, and the redhead nods. I know Lord Hokage, but I feel putting others in danger for information I brought is concerning when I know I can handle it, Naruto says. This could be a trap, Kakashi says. A trap I believe I can escape from, Naruto says. Itachi leans back in his chair in thought for a few moments. I will discuss things with Shikaku and the Umbu commander, he says, and Naruto bows, before being dismissed. Will he let you go, Musashi says. I can only hope so, Naruto thought. He takes to roofs and makes his way in thought of possibly getting an S-rank mission. He soon arrives and all the girls were in the living room discussing the mission. I'm back, Naruto says, and explains things. This could definitely be a trap, Death says. Maybe, but I can escape his traps, Naruto says, heading upstairs for a shower and sealing the room from nosy women. The remain of the day is spent writing their formal reports from their mission in Suna. 2 days would pass before Naruto is called to the Hokage's office where Shikaku and the Umbu Commander Dragon were present with Itachi. Thank you for coming, Naruto, Itachi says, and Naruto stands at attention. This was not an easy decision to make. You are a new full jonin and been back in the village in short. However, you have become a powerful shinboy, Itachi begins. You're the village's Jinchuriki and sending you out on a solo mission is not an easy thing to decide. A squad of Umbu should accompany you, Dragon says, their tone not denoting a gender. However, we decided against it due to your Hiraishin, Shikaku says. Yes. I will authorize the mission to Grass, but I would like you leave a Hiraishin knife with me in case you need to escape, Itachi says, and Naruto nods. I want you to confirm things with the spy and capture them. If Orochimaru reveals themselves, kill him, he adds. By your order, Lord Hokage, Naruto says, and excuses himself. So, you'll get a crack at Orochimaru, Musashi says. Seems so. If he shows, Naruto thought, shining home. He finds his 6 girls in various parts of the house and calls them together to explain his S-class mission. Their expression tell him that they wish he did not have to go but accept that he does. Can you defeat one, the Sannin Death says. He'll have if Orochimaru shows, Tsunade comments. He orchestrated Sarada's kidnapping and nearly killed us during the Chunin exams, Kagaya says. He did force him to run, Sarada comments. Who knows what he has done since the last time we encountered him, Naruto says. Is there any indication of Orochimaru appearing, Mujina asks. No, but one can't be too careful, Naruto replies. Which makes the missions class, Ya says, bringing some treats she made. A week would pass and at midday with the sun at its zenith, Naruto stands in a floor-length and hooded cloak awaiting Sasori's spy. The girls peppered him with kisses on the day he left and his journey to Grass is a short one, but he also managed to scout the location. The bridge is a medium-sized arch bridge over a very deep ravine with a river below. The wind blows as Naruto sees a hooded figure approaching at a leisurely pace. It's been too long, Lord Sasori, the spy says, and slowly removes their hood. It's been 5 years, they add. Why am I not surprised? Kabuto, Naruto thought, seeing the glasses wearing shinobi. You look different, Lord Sasori, Kabuto says. That is of no concern to you. Were you followed, Naruto says, and Kabuto looks around, shaking his head no. How are you doing, Naruto asks, trying to lull the spy into speaking. I still get an odd sensation, Kabuto replies, rubbing his head. I have several questions for you, Naruto says, and Kabuto turns to him fully. I don't have much time. I risked my life to come here without Lord Orochimaru. I want information on his hideout, Naruto says, the wind blowing his cloak a little. There are several locations. We move once a week to avoid detection. There are several hideouts as well. Not just in the land of sound but other countries as well, Kabuto explains, and Naruto's eyes narrow. Where is he? Right now, Naruto asks. Shadows cover Kabuto's face and leaves his glasses glowing. There is a small island north of here on a lake, he replies. A sound catches Kabuto's ears and he whips around, but a small rabbit emerges from the grass. Only a wild rabbit, he says, but gasps. Quite an interesting conversation. Permit me to join as well, Orochimaru says, appearing behind Kabuto, but the Sannin is completely different. He, or rather she, has snake-like golden with purple marking over her eyes, light blue hair in a spiky ponytail with long strands of hair framing her face. She wears a one-piece red suit under a snake-pattern kimono blouse having a purple obi, tight black pants and calf-length brown boots. A pair of snakes wrap around the bespectacled shinobi, but he escapes and lands next to Naruto. Of course the snake would follow him, Naruto thought. Not using Hirako Sasori, Orochimaru says. It was destroyed in a recent battle. Naruto says. I see. Oh yes. I just thought I would thank you. This child you sent me has been very useful to me. So many experiments were successful thanks to his medical ninjutsu. I've been able to use them over and over, but I am running out of subjects, Orochimaru states. Kabuto raises his right hand as if to defend Naruto and it glows with chakra, but suddenly swipes at Naruto's cloak but simply destroys it as he leaps back. Kukuku. Hello Naruto-kun, Orochimaru says, folding her arms. Kabuto shoots forward with his chakra scalpel, but Naruto brushes that hands aside and grazes his chin with a punch. Ha, Kabuto thought, seeing the bridge coming rapidly and Naruto's boot knocks him out. Kukuku. You've grown, Naruto-kun, Orochimaru says, as a clone of Naruto pops to life to take Kabuto away. I have standing orders to put you down, Naruto says. The Hibi Sannin darkly giggles as Naruto prepares himself. Do you, Naruto-kun? Then come and try, she says. Naruto lowers his stance as the bridge buckles while he launches forward and strikes Orochimaru with an uppercut. Her jaw clicks as she's launched up but catches herself into a back somersault. Shoton, Amawatari no Jutsu, Orochimaru shouts, slamming her hand as she lands in a crouch. Naruto clenches his left as a long stream of sharp blue crystals charges him. Thunder geyser, he shouts, punching down, and the energy meets the crystals to destroy the bridge. Orochimaru's eyes widen and her breath hitches as Naruto's glove is inches from her face and sends her crashing through several trees with a loud toom. Music, Naruto OST, Orochimaru's fight. Orochimaru staggers to her feet with blood running down her face and missing her right arm, but sees the redhead coming as she opens her mouth impossibly wide to shed her skin, healing her injuries into quickly and weaving signs. Shoten, Hasho Koryu, Orochimaru says, creating a dragon. It is made of pink crystal in a Chinese-like dragon form with several pink horns and jade green eye reeds. Naruto skids as the dragon charges and weaves signs with an inhale into an exhale of blue flames in a wide pattern, burning everything in its path to ashes and forcing Orochimaru away. Blue flames? Is it the Kyuubi, Orochimaru thought, and weaves signs to dog, Shoton, crystal encampment wall, she thought. A high wall of deep red crystal rises as Naruto appears with a fist crashing into it, but the cracks formed in it repair itself. Shoton, crystal needles, Orochimaru declares, firing a barrage of crystals, but Naruto acts quickly with earth wall as the high-speed crystal tear through it. Naruto charges as a Gallic gun as he avoids the needles and fires it towards the wall of crystal. Orochimaru quickly sinks underground as the blast detonates and destroys everything for about a mile or more. Trees and greenery are uprooted to create a barren flatland as Naruto lands and Orochimaru rises from the dirt about 30 feet from him with a smirk on her face. How interesting, Naruto-kun. Seems I'll need to take you seriously, Orochimaru says and weaves signs before slapping her hands together. Kuchios Edo Tensei, she declares. Naruto goes on guard as 3 wooden coffins rise from the ground with first, second, and fourth on them. The lids clatter on the ground to reveal the first and second Hokage, but also the Yondaime Raza. This changes things, Boyev Musashi says. Kukuku. What will you do, Naruto-kun, Orochimaru says, as the 3 step out of the coffins. Curse you, Orochimaru, Raza hisses. He has auburn hair, dark eyes, and has a very stern look on his face. He wears a simple black jacket and pants with mesh armor underneath. "Where are we?" Tobirama Hashirama says. He is a tall man with tan skin and dark eyes, waist-length black hair in a center-parted fringe that frames his face. He wears dark red plates of armor over a simple black suit with sandals. "The living world, it seems," Tobirama says. He has silver, shaggy hair and red eyes, having 3 red markings on his face, one under each of his eyes and one on his chin. He wears blue plate armor with a distinctive white fur collar over a simple black suit and a Hapuri Hitayate. "It seems this woman has summoned us with Edo Tensei," Tobirama adds. "Kukuku. I did. Now the 3 of you will kill the Kyuubi Jinchuriki," Orochimaru says, pulling 3 control seal tags from her sleeve. "I see. Wars exist in all eras," Hashirama says. Tsunade and Sensei would horrified to see this mockery to their family, Naruto thought, blue bioelectricity beginning to skate along his body. "Then put them back to rest," Boya Musashi says. Orochimaru places the seal tags on the back of each and all of them regain their color while Naruto raises his arms upwards, bringing them down to go SSJ2 and blowing dust from around him. "This doesn't seem to be the normal use of a Bijuu's power," Hashirama says. "It doesn't matter. Kill him," Orochimaru says. Naruto lowers his stance as his SSJ aura flares and he rockets forward with a fracture of the ground towards the 4. And 2, I'll end here with a cliffhanger of Naruto face 3 Kage foes and Orochimaru on top of it. Now some of the dialogue in chapter is similar to insert long titles Rescue Gaara arc and facing Orochimaru with some changes. You also got to see a become a SSJ too. Next chapter drops right back into it with a 4v1 but can Naruto clutch? Thanks for reading. Milk and cookies are waiting outside the den of Champ Blaze. And that wraps up today's chapter of Naruto, the gamer experience. Naruto's journey is only getting crazier. New powers, stronger enemies, bigger mysteries, and legendary battles still await. If you enjoyed this chapter, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next upload. Comment below, what was your favorite moment in this chapter? Until next time. Keep grinding. Keep leveling up. And I'll see you in the next chapter.